Eleanor, a young woman with a thirst for adventure, stood before the imposing mansion. Its silhouette loomed against the twilight sky. The old house seemed to watch her, its windows like vacant eyes. She shivered, a strange sense of foreboding gripping her heart. Taking a deep breath, Eleanor stepped across the threshold. The heavy oak door creaked shut behind her, sealing her fate. Dust motes danced in the faint moonlight filtering through grimy windows. Cobwebs clung to every corner, shrouding the furniture in a ghostly embrace. Eleanor found herself holding her breath, afraid to break the silence. She cautiously ventured further into the house, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. Each room she passed seemed to grow colder, the air heavy with a palpable sense of dread. Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, her every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. The mansion was a labyrinth of dark hallways and shadowy corners. Eleanor wandered aimlessly, each room appearing more sinister than the last. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the creaking of the floorboards beneath her feet. She felt a cold draft on her skin, as if an unseen presence had brushed past her. She stopped to light a candle, its flickering flame casting grotesque shadows on the walls. The shadows seemed to dance and writhe, taking on menacing forms that sent shivers down her spine. Eleanor felt a knot of fear tightening in her stomach, urging her to turn back. A sudden noise echoed from the floor above, like footsteps pacing back and forth. Eleanor froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She strained to listen, holding her breath. The sound came again, slow and deliberate, each step sending a fresh wave of terror through her. Mustering her courage, Eleanor slowly ascended the grand staircase. The air grew colder with each step, the scent of decay clinging to the musty air. She reached the top of the stairs and paused, listening intently for any sign of life. A low whisper sent chills down her spine. It seemed to come from the room at the end of the hallway, its door slightly ajar. Eleanor's hand trembled as she reached for the handle, her mind racing with possibilities. What if someone or something was waiting for her inside? Taking a deep breath, Eleanor pushed the door open. The room was dark and dusty, its furniture draped in white sheets like ghostly apparitions. The whispering had stopped, but Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that she was not alone. She felt a cold spot near the window, as if an unseen presence had just vacated the space. Eleanor's gaze fell upon a trapdoor in the ceiling, its outline barely visible in the dim light. Curiosity, or perhaps a morbid fascination, compelled her to investigate. She found a rusty ladder and climbed cautiously into the attic. The attic was a treasure trove of forgotten memories. Old trunks overflowed with moth-eaten clothing and faded photographs. A dusty gramophone sat on a rickety table, its horn cracked and silent. Eleanor's fingers brushed against a cobweb, and she suppressed a shudder. Her eyes fell upon a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with faded ink. Eleanor picked it up, her heart quickening as she recognized the name scrawled on the first page, her own. This was her great-grandmother's diary, the one she thought was lost forever. As Eleanor devoured the words in the diary, a horrifying truth began to unfold. Her great-grandmother had been trapped in this house, driven to madness by the same unseen forces that now haunted Eleanor. The diary ended abruptly, the last page filled with frantic scribbles about a dark secret hidden within the mansion's walls. A blood-curdling scream pierced the silence. Eleanor dropped the diary, her blood turning to ice. The scream had come from downstairs, echoing through the empty halls like a death knell. Heart pounding, Eleanor descended the stairs, each step filled with dread. The front door was wide open, the night air rushing in like a malevolent spirit. Standing in the doorway was a shadowy figure, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. Eleanor gasped, her breath catching in her throat, but as quickly as it had appeared, the figure vanished into the night. Eleanor rushed outside, desperate to escape the horrors of the mansion. But as she looked back at the imposing structure, a chilling realization washed over her. She wasn't running from the mansion. She was running towards it. The ghostly figure had not been trying to escape. It had been trying to reach her, to warn her. For the diary had revealed one final terrifying truth. The mansion wasn't haunted by her great-grandmother. It was haunted by Eleanor herself.